loads of us probably think that you're living the dream, or maybe that's just me. I'd love to swap the city life for the quiet countryside, but I don't doubt it has its challenges. What's one thing you wish more people knew about the reality of rural living?
I guess it's a constant internal battle with it, thinking to yourself, are you being selfish by saying, no, you're not doing that after school club because I've got to drive for an hour, sit and wait while you do it, to drive an hour back. So any after school club takes 3 times as long as anything else. And then you think to yourself, are they going to get to 16, 17, 18 and really feel that they've been hard done to because they didn't do netball or chess club or archery club or whatever random club it is that they want to do. And at the moment, they're going to school in the dark and they're coming back in the dark. So they have nothing other than either school or home life. So I figure that when it comes to the reality is the simple things that would make your life easier. It's a balancing act, believe me. You can go play out and they can do that. You don't have to worry that they're going to get run over or anything sort of, or mugged or abducted. But there's different side of worries. Might get kicked by something, might fall off something. But they're kind of ones that you can negate rather better. So I guess it's about weighing it up, and you do have to plan things a little bit more. You can't be as spontaneous. I think I want to make something out of the Ottolenghi cookbook. Oh dear, I haven't got any galangal or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be like 50 miles to go and get it. Don't do it.
Sort of plan ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to involve a potato. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What aspect of farming have you enjoyed the most, and what is the aspect that is the hardest to deal with?
The bit I enjoy the most is actually, well, June time, because basically it's finished lambing time. I was like, oh my god, it must be wonderful. New life on the farm, lambing time, it must be amazing. Yeah, you get a bit stored with that after a bit. Now, immediately after lambing time, you slip into June and everything's growing. So the sheep all go back to the moor, and basically it's kind of like downtime, but everything's growing. So you've got your flowers, you've got your insects, and you've got that heat, and it's like literally, it's like being overstimulated. There's like colour, smells. It's just beautiful. And you can strip all this waterproofs off and let the sun on your skin. After you've hacked all the hair off that's grown underneath, obviously. It's like the natural world. That's what I actually like. I like the little wins. I like to think to myself, oh, you know, we've got the cookies coming back. We've got the rare flowers, all the rest of it. This year we found water voles. And we also found a load of toads as well. It's those little things that make you think, like, look at the bigger picture.
That's really cool. Do you think there is a difference between Yorkshire tea and Yorkshire Gold? And is it worth paying the extra money?
Well, I don't think there is that much of a difference because, you see, I have to say that I like my cups of tea strong.
Yeah, me too.
Yorkshire tea, I was devastated when they stopped doing a tea bag that said it was a 2-cup tea bag. You could get a Yorkshire tea bag for 2 cups, but I didn't. I literally,
Are you a 2 tea bag person?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Spoon stands up in it for me, honestly. That's it. I don't think there's that much difference between Yorkshire Gold. As long as it's got that Yorkshire bit at the beginning, I think you're absolutely fine. All in all, stick with it. Stronger the better, and don't pay the extra.
Okay. Good to know. You've got 9 kids with 9 different personalities.
I thought you were going to say dads then. No. No, just note, no. No.
What's been the hardest part about learning to parent the child who's least like you?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess it's how much influence you really want to have. I've always, because I've got so much going on, and because of being part of a big family, you literally do not have perhaps the time to oversee as much as in a smaller family. You just can't. It's physically impossible. So what you have to do is, in a way, try and oversee things and be ready to sort of pick up the pieces or catch the fall or help along whichever one requires it at that time. as and when they require it. So rather than it about me saying this is a tried and tested way, they have all been so different in their mindset and different in their characters that what would have worked for one wouldn't work for another. I feel like when it comes to talking about the one that's least like you, I don't think there really is one. That makes them sound like they're a clone or something, but they're not. Some are party animals, some are academic, some are more into personal hygiene than. In other words, Raven, you know, she said she's 24 now, and I don't even know what she is. I can't even pronounce it. But something, she's qualified in biomedicine and done all the extra years.
Yeah.
And she literally puts it down to being dragged up, which I'm incredibly proud of, because by being dragged up, she has made her own road.
Yeah.
It's not my win or loss. It's hers. I will help. Those are great lessons. Ruben is successful. He's got his television show and he's got his landscaping, excavating, digging business. He works really hard. Okay, but he wasn't a scholar. He didn't qualify in anything other than dealing with people, being someone who's good at conversation and dealing, and somebody that motivates. I think that's great. So having two that are the absolute extremes, but both successful and happy, means there's a lot of room in the middle.
I wanted to ask you about your new book.
Oh yeah,
Um,
children's book.
yes, your children's book, your first one.
Yes,
Of 7.
the children's book. So the best thing was, of course, the material is all what's happening on the farm. So it's all about the children and animals, which in a way is great because it's happening, but also terrible because it means that you haven't got time to write about it because you're too busy doing it. So the children's stories, I mean, oh my God, I have ploughed my way through some children's books that have set my teeth on edge. And I'm not going to say which, but there are some that literally just like, I hate anything that dumbs kids down, but I hate things also that are sexed up. There's a nice middle ground. I like a book that can be expanded upon. I like a book that I want to read, that interests and excites them, and that makes them maybe as a conversation starter. And people say, well, why did you do it? I've got children, I've got animals. And when Penguin asks you if you want to do it, if I'm trying to say to the children anything's possible, as someone who got an E in English at GCSE level,
It's amazing.
Why not?
My mother is staying for a whole week. We haven't spent time in the same house together for about 10 years. She hasn't been particularly great since she got here, and I'm exhausted. I just feel like I can't relax. Am I being unreasonable to think that a week is too long for most house guests, especially mothers?
Definitely. That is about 6 days too long. Honestly. Honestly, don't. There's a reason why it's been so long since she's been over. It's a no. I tend to find I'm fortunate because of where I live, that you have to make the effort. You don't just call by, you don't just drop by, you have to come. And somehow we weed out the people that like it and are willing to roll their sleeves up and embrace whatever's going on. If you don't like it, you don't come back. Yeah, no, she's definitely not been unreasonable. definitely not been. I feel her pain. I really do.
Yeah, I do
without naming names.
Don't know who it could
Don't know who it could be.
1,000 loo rolls arrived by lorry today on a pallet. We didn't know they were coming, and now our spare bedroom is full of them, and there are loads in the kitchen and in the living room as well. My son said he got them as a good deal from work, and he thought we would want them, but he forgot to tell us about them. Am I being unreasonable to be annoyed that my son has gifted us 1,000 toilet rolls?
Yes, it's a gift. I mean, think of COVID times. During COVID, this would literally be like, it's like contraband. You can honestly, no. Somehow it will right itself. I would say be thankful. There are far worse things that can turn up. I mean, at the end of the day, you're always going to need a bog roll, aren't
I'm not
you?
going to go off. I'm a single mum to 2 sons in their 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't get to go out very often. My friend has bought us tickets to a West End show, and we've booked a hotel so we could see it and have 2 days in London to ourselves. My son, who's 23, was booked for a minor operation. It's been moved, so it's happening while I'm meant to be away.
Yeah.
I told him he'll have to get taxied to the hospital because no one else is around to help.
Mm-hmm.
But he's accused me of putting myself before him and not caring about him. Am I being unreasonable to not cancel my trip?
Don't cancel your trip. No, that is well out of order. No, he's definitely
23.
he's 23. He's big enough and he can sort himself out on this one. He shouldn't be relying on his mum. It's not ideal, the situation. And at the end of the day, it's what I'm saying is you want your children to be independent, free thinking, and have the ability to get themselves out of whatever shit they find themselves in. You can't avoid shit. You just have to sort of like be able to climb your way out. And if he is in his 20s and he can't work that one out, then honestly, it's about time he learnt.
You're doing the food shop, minding your own business, when you notice £10 on the floor in an aisle. There are no other customers or staff in that aisle. Would you be unreasonable in picking it up and pocketing it for yourself?
Personally, I wouldn't because I don't need it. And knowing my luck, there'd be CCTV. Bearing in mind, I once got strip searched because I accidentally put some full price sweet corn in after I fished it out my trolley because I saw it with the stuff with the label on had gone green and mouldy in the bottom. No, I wouldn't personally. I understand that for some people that could make a huge difference, but no, I think the warm and lovely feeling I would get from either handing it in or sticking it in one of those like Poppy Legion things would be far better. So yeah.
I am having quite strong baby name regret. My husband and I couldn't agree on a name. We came to a middle ground that neither of us loved. Then I used one of my first choice names as the middle name. The first name has never quite sat perfectly with me. It's unusual, and people often question me about why we chose it. I think I'd like to change to her middle name, but I'm worried about the judgment. I'm just more worried that I'm going to regret this choice forever. Am I being unreasonable to change my baby's name after 6 months?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think it matters. You know, the number of children that I know that are known by their middle names or have changed to want to be known by a shortened version of the name. It doesn't, I don't feel that it really matters. And I'll give you my reasoning. Obviously, Raven, it's called Raven because we lived at Ravenseat and because I also knew a farmer, Raven Frankland. I just like the name. People go, "You are Rachel?" I say, "No, Raven." Raven. I've also got an Annis. Okay. And Annis, ANNAS, I actually got a letter from the hospital that was actually said to Amos Livingston. Okay, hospital. You'd have thought they'd have known the difference, wouldn't you? I wasn't going to saddle her with that one. Okay, so it's Annis. It's not Anna or anything like that. Her name is Annis. And as for Miles, we discovered when Miles had got his GCSEs that actually we'd spelt his name wrong on the birth certificate. So all his actual credentials all had to be changed over. And it was like, oh, is it easier to just change over the GCSEs or change the name? See?
Yeah.
So when it comes to names, the child will dictate to you. She might find, that the child prefers the first name.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever walks along and says, well, you don't suit your name. So it's, I wouldn't worry about it. People judge you for whatever you are.
My son, who's 9, has been to his friends this afternoon and has just come home covered in what I can only assume is dog shit. Their friend has 2 dogs, and my son came home with shit all over his shoes, trousers, t-shirt, and even in his hair. Can it get any worse than this? Am I being unreasonable to ask you to tell me about your worst play dates?
Oh my God, worst play dates. The thing is, when you're on a farm, the play date always seems to be other people's kids coming to you for a day on the farm, okay? And that is a nightmare. About 2 months ago, when one of Anna's friends came to drop her off on a play date, and I swore blind that everything was going to be fine and I'd look after her and there'd be no danger whatsoever, as Clemmy came into the room with a spring-loaded blunderbuss that Ruben had bought at an auction, which, although it was disabled and disarmed and you can't actually fire any shot out of it, there is a button you press on it whereby literally a good knife comes out. And it was like for what highwayman used to use to shoot somebody, and then if it didn't hit them, they could like stab them. Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to play dates, I know exactly about that. And I mean, yeah, it takes, again, it's that thing of weeding through the people that love it. So we have at the moment friends that come round a lot with their kids, and they're of the same mindset and ilk that they like to see their kids sort of pushing the boundaries. You know, there was one day I got a video actually of Clemmy with her friend, and they'd been riding very sensibly on the horses. We got to the far end field, and I rode to the top, and I said, "If you want to let them go, let them go." And I was thinking, "Oh my god, oh my god!" But they got a riding hat on; it was soft going, and they thundered up that hill. And if you've seen a child with such a smile on the face that literally you can't, that's everything. And sometimes, in order for that to be, it can't be within the remit of being clean, tidy, polished, and you don't know where that's going to come from. So yeah, I mean, shit's a bad one. We don't. I mean, I've got so many shit stories, honestly. But yeah, it'll wash off. Yeah.
It'll wash off.
Yeah.